All right, everybody, welcome back. We got more CDA League coming your way. We have very quickly gotten into this 1v1. The lobby was up, the two players joined, and we're straight into it. It's Invoker versus Invoker here for Aster versus Keen. Matt, you here with me?
I am here with you.
Hey, bud. How you doing?
Good. We're actually seeing some mid laners play the 1v1 matchup, which is a nice change.
Yeah. We've seen plenty of supports actually in the last couple of days. But here you go.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
That's the thing, like, I always hear people, like, you occasionally hear people complain about people, you know, using a different language than English, in English, like, if they don't speak English fantastically well, but when you think about it, the majority of people can only speak one language, and so if you can speak two even reasonably well, that's big props to you, you know, I've got a lot of respect for anyone who can do that.
Yeah, 100%. I have no complaints when watching these China games. It would of course be nice, but you know that's on me. If I wanted to learn a little bit of basic Dota Chinese or Dota Mandarin.
Maybe we should speak to Black. Maybe he'll tell us.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so this is I don't know. I don't even know if this is an interesting 1v1 matchup. I am curious to see what the skill builds end up being. If it's just going to be like straight Quas Exhort, are you just trying to outlast hit the other guy? Because it seems like there is the possibility, right, of like, oh, maybe you go the one random Wex point to get the meteor kill or something like that. But I don't know if that's how this is going to go. Well, that was an attempted Sunstrike from Yi to secure.
They're just going for these range creeps.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you may as well use a little bit of your mana early on here, but it does seem like it'll probably be, just for the most part, a last hit battle. SCCC tanking a lot of creep damage so far here, and you getting off to a little bit of an early lead. Nothing too crazy, but certainly good CSing from him, good trading. Can he Sunstrike this one? Looks like he didn't think he had the timing, but still got the last hit, and then goes and gets the range creep deny on the other side. So he takes the early lead here, and will be able to get his Forge Spirit up first. SCCC just dragging these creeps back to try and grab every single one of these last hits.
And SCC going for a little bit of a different philosophy behind it. He's going for a Null Talisman and a Wraith Band, so trying to get a little bit of that extra attack speed in there as well.
Yeah, a little bit of... I don't think the little bit of extra armor is going to be too bad either. So lane ends up back pretty much right in the middle. SCCC... maybe slight advantage now that the creeps are actually being contested and he's got his Forge Spirit up, so we'll see if that ends up making the difference. But as I say that, he's also got his Forge Spirit up now. A couple of uphill misses trying to deal with the Forge Spirit. This range creep. Oh, nice deny. Alright. Can he Sunstrike this range creep? Oh, not going to try for it. Just goes for the deny. SCCC whiffs on his deny. And 11-5 versus 6 for 2. This is looking pretty good for old Yi. Doesn't even have any cosmetics.
No, you don't need him. You know, all you need is the skill.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, so what have we got being ferried out now on the couriers? We've got the finished Null Talisman as well as a Magic Stick. And yeah, like we were saying before, it's the Wraith Band and a bit more regen for SC.
Okay, both of them making the decision to go a second point in Exort at level 3. But so far, Yi's still grinding this out. SC getting denied pretty heavily underneath the tower. Does have the Cold Snap ready to go. He's still sitting on the Sunstrike. Lots of really high mana cost spells on Invoker in general, so... gotta pick your spots when you're actually gonna do anything. They're both really trying to focus the other guy's Forge Spirit down. Oh, Cold Snap coming in, but Forge Spirit's dead, and an uphill miss. Bit unlucky there. Trying to get that harassment in.
Two misses there as well. How are you with like just remembering the actual keybinds for the various different Invoker abilities?
Invoker
I have to
is
use the mnemonics.
he's my second most played hero, so I'm
Okay.
I'm pretty confident.
I had to use that one guy's Reddit post. Did you remember seeing that one where he was like, he explained things like, if you want to fight, it's like you're in professional wrestling, so WWE is alacrity.
Oh,
You know,
okay, no. There was a point where, like, I know people used to, or like, I remember theory crafting and then seeing people talk about it. The idea of like you should try and figure out the minimum path from your current set of orbs to like the next set of orbs that you want. But looking at most players, they just mash out the entire 3-key combination. Like people hardly ever start on 3 Wex and then like just press 1 Quas to get that just
they just
never
put the
happens.
full combo in.
Yeah, everybody just puts in the full combo. It's really so. I think most people just have a preferred order for most things. Like I know most people do QQW for
Ghost Walk.
Ghost Walk, yeah. QQ Walk. That's maybe one
Yeah.
of the. That's one of the few that.
See, before the mnemonics, I still knew a few. Like QQ Walk was one of them. Sunstrike, obviously. Cold Snap and Deafening Blast are the very obvious ones. But yeah.
No, I'm a big Invoker fan. I quite like that Quas-Wex Invoker is pretty viable, and I had a lot of fun when Support Invoker was briefly like a thing. We should talk about this 1v1. SCCC's been dragging it back on the CS. Pretty close. He's got 3 creeps pushing in now, so it's almost going to be dead even after this. They're both getting a ton of damage at this point, still making the same skill decisions. Like you said, slightly different item decisions. Yi picking up this Gloves of Haste. Another one of them going for some boots, just ferrying lots of mangoes. In the case of Yi, I think he's got like 3 mangoes coming out. Yeah, needs the mana to be able to keep on fighting. You just have to keep your Forge Spirit up, otherwise you're gonna get out CS'd. But still, for the most part, just seems like a CS battle. We do have now the point in Wex on Yi, so he's actually gonna be, I think, going for the kill in a second here. Yeah, back to full mana. And yeah, there you go. Okay, so but SCCC is gonna see this. He sees that he has Wex now, but still gonna try and probably snap. Yeah, Tornado Snap. Now the meatball. Here we go. SCCC in danger, getting auto attacked. Can we get some uphill misses? He's surviving for now. He does not have enough to invoke the Sunstrike. Unfortunately, that's still a lot of damage.
It is. It's a lot of damage. He doesn't have any salve out on him at the moment, and he actually just had a lot of things delivered to him. So he's in a bit of a rough spot, having to stand on the backside after having clawed back what was a bit of a deficit that he had at the very start, and now sitting about even. Only 3.5 minutes left until that that timer kicks in.
Yeah, sudden death rules. Yeah, I guess just gotta keep trucking on the CS, perhaps. I feel like this 1v1 has more weight behind it as well compared to some of the others. Like, this is a mirror matchup hero, so 50-50 matchup from that perspective. Both of these teams not doing so well, and it's the mid players, so I feel like there's a bit of pride on the line. Like, if you're a support player and you lose a 1v1 to the other support player, it's like, whatever.
That's not my role.
Yeah, exactly. Meatball. Meteor coming out again from Yi. He's really looking for this opportunity to go for the kill. So he's playing much more aggressively. It seems like SC content to just kind of trade and potentially win this on a CS battle. I wonder if are the observers just going to pause it at 10? If it, like, exactly at 10 minutes? Or because it may actually come down to, like, just a couple of CS here.
The split second side of things. They're going back and forth in terms of their net worth as well. And seems like he's just playing the survivability game.
Oh, Sunstrike! Gotta dodge, pop the Fairy Fire, alright. So SC stepping up, putting out the damage, but now he's low on mana, so he's not gonna have the spells for this next round. He doesn't have any mangoes on the courier either. He's trying to get this... Trying to kill that ward is gonna cost him a ton of HP. Invoker gonna keep on chasing him down, and with the Deafening Blast, there's first blood. Got completely baited in by the Observer Ward, and SCCC, the GG comes out.
giving it up. Very important for Keen to get that win, to give him a chance at having their first win of this CDA league. And yeah, just going for the observer word, maybe thinking he was a little bit behind on the net worth, but actually at that point he had a slight lead because of all the mangoes that Yeet had to use to go for those consistent ganks.
Yeah, that was that was definitely a weird way for that game to. That's a bit worrying. We'll see what Keen can do about it. I don't know if they would have any thought of picking up like. I don't know, Bloodseeker? I'm not even sure what else comes to mind. That hero seems dead.
He's in the bin.
Yeah.
Bloodseeker for sure.
There's so much nuke damage as well on Aster. Like, they're tanky, but they also have tons of nukes and lockdown.
I still like the PL. I feel like he's able to come online at a certain point. He's going to be able to deal with his Shadow Shaman very well. As you said, Dragon Knight is heavily reliant on his low mana pool, so if you're able to burn it down, sure, you're not going to be doing too much right-click to this Dragon Knight with a Phantom Lancer, but it enables the rest of your team to follow up on what you're looking to do. And Phoenix and Underlord both have some great percentage-based damage as well as stuff that just straight up ignores his high armor.
Yeah. Is there any world where Keen maybe takes Slark as well? Okay, just wait. Why? Why TA?
I don't know.
This is to me this just looks like an awful TA pick. Like, you're playing against a disarm, and you're playing against some pretty solid stuns, and you're playing against a really high armor Dragon Knight that you can't burst, and who also has damage over time. And I mean, maybe it's just a comfort thing, and they're, TA always kind of okay, just being able to come out of the lane, flash farm through the jungle, but not at all what I was expecting for Keen here.
No, definitely not, and they had a lot of time to think about it. I guess, yeah, the disarm is really what's going to frustrate me. I mean, I suppose it means that they need to go a bit earlier on into the BKB themselves, which I don't think is something that they want to do, but picking up the Visage to round out their draft. I mean, it gives them some, consistent damage. You're not as worried about the BKBs now.
Yeah, I kind of like that it's given them gives them another stun as well, or gives them an actual stun, and the birds the familiars can give a little bit of vision for glimpses and stuff like that. Seems like they just want to play a really sort of 5-man heavy strat, but I feel like Aster can just as well take this into like a 5-man situation, and I think I even like their lineup a little bit more when it comes to these 5v5s. The Pango just looks so value. I'm just picturing this Rolling Thunder going through the fight, and there's nothing to deal with it at all.
Yeah, what are you going to hit it with? Visage doesn't have the greatest range for his right clicks, and neither does the TA. Underlord needs to be right up there, so it's not like you can have any sort of ranged counterplay against it, like you might be able to with, I don't know, not that they're in the meta, but the Sniper, for example, or a Deucer, or crazy things like that.
Yeah, well, I guess
I'm preferring Aster.
Yeah, I think I'm liking Aster a bit more here as well. I'm also now a little bit afraid for this Underlord too. The lane is looking pretty scary for him, unless they can keep it like hugged up back by his tower. I'm just picturing that he gets the swarm on him, and the Weaver just chases him down the entire length of the lane and gets the kill. And then with any help from Shadow Shaman or the Snapfire, should be a pretty easy takedown. And Underlord just does so little if you have a bad start. You can flash farm back up a little bit, but so much of your hero is about getting those early items and being tanky and just applying constant pressure. So if you're just sitting back on your side of the map farming, you're really not doing your job.
Yeah, and if you're doing that, you're not really pressuring the map out either, which I feel the Visage needs in order to create kills, because, similar to the way that Underlord can flash farm to come into it, you've got the Visage that needs kills in order to actually progress into the later stages.
Yeah, kind of similar to I guess similar in some ways to like the Ricky that we saw in some of these earlier games. If you just don't have a good start, don't secure things at least reasonably well out of the lanes, your game can be very tenuous. So we got Fade starting with some boots. Has Snapfire really? Is Snapfire really just like a position 5 now? Is that the world that we live in? I feel like we haven't been seeing it as a dedicated 4 as much.
I've seen it as 3 a couple of times. I feel like it's just struggles with that kind of middle ground where you need to be rotating a little bit more, but your presence in the lane is so much stronger that you don't really want to be moving around the map all that much.
Yeah, not the most amazing ganking support, I suppose. So, alright, what's going on here? Underlord just starting with 3 tangos, TA, I don't know, faking out. Oh, no, I guess not faking out.
He was checking
wards,
for observer wards, yeah.
Did he get into tower range or anything, though?
Not sure.
I
Does
feel
that
like
even give vision? Yeah, I think it was in vision.
Yeah, I guess that might work as a check, but may have just...
The battle begins.
Alright, so pause 1 Visage. We'll see how it goes for him. They just need to completely dumpster this lane if he's going to be able to do it. And like we were saying before, Disruptor, I suppose there's not too many better heroes you would want to be laning something with, right? If you've got this Soul Assumption as well, that's a lot of damage that's being dished out with the Thunder Strike, so you're going to be harassing quite heavily against these Aster offlane heroes.
Yeah, if they could, I think they need to keep them nuked down, because otherwise they don't have any way to really save one another. So if there is like an early shackle coming out, or Pangolier just swashbuckles in aggressively, there's not really a whole lot they can do for one another. Triple C trying to get this top wave under control, zoning the Underlord back, but we do have YDS up here now already, so gonna help out and make sure that the Underlord doesn't come under too much pressure as Fade kind of faking out the sentry. Yeah, pretending that he's actually just body blocking it, and that means Afu not going to think about sentrying it perhaps for the next minute, even though he does have a sentry ward.
Yeah, might cause them to overcommit as well to make sure that Fade doesn't have the freedom to go and do that next time around at the 2-minute mark.
So far, mid lane matchup going pretty well for Chuan. Just CSing away. It's really a decent matchup for Dragon Knight.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
At all stages, really.
The Boca taking some damage. Fade getting gone on somewhat. Afu even throwing out the kinetic field here. XXS, not a whole lot that he can do. He gets the disarm on the Disruptor, but Afu still gets the first blood. Fade just a little bit too squishy, and I guess the problem that I was talking about for Keen also goes the opposite direction. Not a ton that the Pangolier can do to help out his buddy when Fade gets gone on.
Yeah, you can tell that Fade is trying to get quite aggressive onto Erica here, given the Visage does have the 0 armor at level 1. So that heavy right click from the Shadow Shaman's going to do a lot of work, but you're putting yourself in a position to get gone on.
And Visage even going for the Gravekeeper's Cloak early on here, so will not be going for an early point in the Grave Chill. You do have a pretty hefty mana cost on the Soul Assumption already, so kind of difficult to get all of your actives early on. Ooh. Dragon Knight's kind of low at mid, but he's got 2 points in Dragon's Blood, so good luck. I think he's going to continue to do just fine.
Fade continuing to block out, so still no small camps, even though it's been dewarded.
Yeah, a little bit of shenanigans here on the big camp, but XXS does secure that one for himself. Both heroes on the mid lane getting very low, but TA just going to pop the salve and be okay. Dragon Knight relying on the 2 bracers worth of tankiness to just keep on CSing and sustain in the lane.
SC up top is having a bit more of a difficult time against the Underlord. He's starting to use the Atrophy Aura to his full advantage. They might be trying to go for a kill on YDS, but he can just fly away.
I'm trying to drag the wave a bit here, but not really getting that much, as Fade will sneaky come and grab this
Dire's
outpost.
top tower is under attack.
Don't think it's really all that meaningful just yet. We are seeing, every time I see the Underlord, it feels like they are going for this really heavy Atrophy Aura build early on. 2 points picked up so far. I guess it does just help you CS. Don't rely on the Firestorm early. Ooh, nice little Arcane Rune here. DK chasing it down. He's got the point in the Dragon Tail, actually. And he will just yoink that away.
That's pretty valuable. You don't want to be giving that up to the TA just to let her get a lot of these spammable spells off a lot easier.
TA really needs this Clarity Potion to last a little while. Get the Refraction back up. Be able to keep on CSing. It's happening up top. We do have a rotation coming through. They want this kill on the Underlord. Is there any way to save him? YDS doing his best with the 2 points in the Fire Spirits, but I think Underlord realizing that he is 100% dead. Baboka, nice jump in, but SCCC very low and actually ticking out somewhat. That Icarus dive burn not quite enough, but they will lose the Shadow Shaman. And YDS still fighting. He's actually going to get a double kill. SCCC, Shikuchi's forward, but that's just a triple! Why would he trade with the Phoenix like that? I guess he thought he could get
baby. Yeah, didn't realize that the Sentry Ward was down there, and it just shows the disadvantage of taking a team fight at such an early stage in the middle of the enemy team's creep wave.
At the same time, XXS picking up a solo kill at bottom. Brings down Erica. That was no help from anyone else. Dragon Knight popping the ultimate at mid. YDS once again on the rotation, but the Dragon Tail gonna lock him down in the middle of the lane, and now the tower just going to work. Low armor on this Phoenix. He will find the turnaround, but still just ends up being the supports dying on the mid lane. So farm continues to be very even mid. Fade is kind of lurking over here. Spots the TA now. TA spots him. Do need to be careful of some of these side traps. And Afu also in the area. The only level 3. Underlord with a ton of farm.
Yeah.
How much net worth does he actually have? He is #1 on the net worth. And attempt on the Dragon Knight's life. Should be able to walk forward. There's the glimpse coming back. DK's pretty tanky. Just going to throw out the stun and try and walk this one off, but Phoenix also coming in. He's got the Fairy Fire, but I don't know if that's going to be enough to save him. Boots getting delivered. DK tanking. And looks like living. 3 points in the Dragon's Blood. Definitely saving him there.
And not quite close enough to get that Thunder Strike off either. Choosing to max out the glimpse, so Afu really relying on the fact that King Gaming are going to have a strong early game and be able to transition that into more kills, into objectives early on, especially once this Visage hits into his level 6. Just hitting into 5 now.
They do have a glyph. The glyph in the wave. They want the dive on the Visage. They found him. Everyone is TPing down here. Fade's in danger. XXS does have the Rolling Thunder. Good damage through, knocking back the Underlord. Fade's going to be brought down, though. XXS just trying to make his exit. There is not enough mana for a glimpse or anything on the Disruptor, so it will just end up being the Shadow Shaman brought down, and Eric is going to be forced to swap over to the top side since the Underlord TP'd bottom, and they don't want to give the Weaver a ton of free damage. Though I think SCCC might actually be able to force the Visage out of the lane as well, at least before he gets his level 6. Yeah.
Unfortunately for Weaver, no points in the Swarm just yet, otherwise this Visage would be absolute paper if he was trying to go on in.
Yeah, a little bit surprised not to see the point early on, but SC maybe just not feeling like he can do much with it. We do already have the Elder Dragon form back up, so DK making his rotation towards the top lane. They really want this tier 1 tower, and they've got the other lanes being held down, though. Fade, not a ton that he can do at the mid lane to stop this TA, and this would be a great trade if Keen Gaming could get it. Taking out the mid tier 1 tower just for losing the top tier 1. though I don't know if they're going to give it up that easily. They do have mass TPs ready, and the Rolling Thunder is also available for XXS. Fade just with the shackle coming through. Afu getting completely controlled. Fade is about to lose his life, but both of these supports in big danger as SCCC also swings his way in. And it will just be a 2-for-1 support trade. That top tier 1 tower almost dead. Boboka wants it. Erica wants to deny. Who's going to get it? Ooh, Boboka. I think it's going to take him more than one hit to finish. Yeah, it's actually going to take him a couple, but looks like he's still going to get it.
You can see just how scared Erica is, though, of any sort of rotations coming through. Only just hitting up onto level 6 at the 9-minute mark and sitting down in 6th position on the net worth, equivalent to the Phoenix. And when you don't have that comeback potential outside of these kills, it's going to be a rough one for the Visage.
Yeah, still just trying to farm up Helm of the Dominator. XXS having a great game. Just back down farming at bottom, and not a very long cooldown, the Rolling Thunder, so we'll be ready to potentially fight at mid if it comes to it. Underlord just going to be going for a pipe early on here, definitely, like we talked about, tons of magical damage on the Aster side, though no slouch either when it comes to the physical damage output, so we'll see how Keen are going to be able to manage. Very aggressive builds from both mid laners. A blink on the TA, queued up, and a blink for the Dragon Knight going to be the selection.
And you can see the physical damage, the armor reduction is going to be something that SC is prioritizing. He's gone for the Vanny Room with a cheeky Shikushi, but good block off there from Afu.
Well, even with that, Aster's still going to get... still going to get 2 for themselves. And rotation down towards bottom. Vlad's already completed for the Pangolier. And Dragon Knight with another Elder Dragon form that he is more than ready to use. Interesting to see that the priority is being on these side lane towers. Aster not trying to make any kind of big move for the mid-tier 1. Instead, just poking, prodding, forcing responses elsewhere. From Keen. And okay, now with the Underlord TPing bottom, the Dragon Knight is going to TP mid and try and take out the tower there instead.
It's free real estate, boys. That's what he's saying to him.
But he's got Dark Rift, so he can still chase if he really wants to.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
Mouse. Yeah.
Oh, there's action happening top. Ooh, Visage in a bit of a dangerous position, trying with the familiars to buy space for himself. He will hold back the Snapfire, but Erica is in no man's land. What is the Courier doing up here? Hello? Alright, and the familiar is now dead. Are you seeing this Courier slowly just, like, move your camera to Weaver and, behold the majesty.
No.
No? There's no Courier hovering...
over Weaver's head?
Not directly above Weaver, but yeah, you see it now. There you go. Alright.
He's just flying.
Yeah, he's just chilling. Okay, I wonder how long that's going to stay there. It was moving down before, and now it's just stuck.
Well,
okay.
It would have to be Visage's Courier, right? So as soon as it respawns.
Yeah, I guess so. Keep an eye on it. Anyway, SCCC TP bot. Can he get the deny? Yes, he can! Very nice, and now putting a little bit of pressure onto this TA. Refraction getting chewed through, putting out the damage, but XXS is here, hoping for a disarm proc and a little bit of a slow. They can't quite get through the refraction in time, but he is still chasing. Afu's down here, though. Static Storm, Kinetic Field, not going to catch out the Pangolier. He does have the Rolling Thunder available, and they just kill the egg instantly. No hesitation whatsoever. SCCC still fine. Boboka with the hop away. He is going to get glimpsed back in, but XXS still running interference. We'll just end up being the 1-for-1 support trade as the Mass Serpent Wards get deployed at mid, bringing down that tier 1 tower.
Yeah, that little shredder, such value against the Supernova, able to deal with it immediately, especially at those early levels. Just to go back to your point previously about why they might be prioritizing the side lanes as opposed to mid, as I say that Afu's getting gone on and the action just doesn't stop.
I don't think anything's happening here.
Yeah, I know there's like a little bit of cat and mouse that we were seeing going on, like will the Underlord rotate, will that allow us to go into mid, but I think a big reason behind why Aster are trying to do that is they wanted to take specifically the bottom towers tier 1 away from them, because with a TA you've always got that threat of the flash farming through the Ancients, and they just want to take away that side of the map from them.
For sure. And we've seen even more tower trading now. Mid tier 1 down, but the top tier 1 gone. This bottom tier 1 still stands though, so Aster gonna have to take another run at it. Though you can kind of see Qian, he's thinking about rotating down bottom though. Maybe need some attention paid towards mid. Fade getting gone on, does get the Hex out onto the TA, now with the Shackles, but he still gets burned down. Dragon Tail onto the Templar Assassin, SCCC running in. Can they get through this refraction? Yes, they can, but do they have the vision? No, they do not. They don't have any supports here, so TA going to get evac'd easily, though they leave Afu for dead. XXS cutting him off. And again, just more support trades. What's Visage up to? He's just farming neutrals. He's got a Hellbear Smasher up top, pushing out the wave a little bit. So cross map micro from Erica here.
You can really tell, like, within the same league, the difference between the teams that are sort of towards the top and the ones that are a little bit under. It just feels a little bit more chaotic, a little less organized for both of these teams compared to the ones that we've been seeing so far. Not that they're mechanically bad or anything, it just seems like there's not quite that level of coordination that we've seen with your RNGs, your Vichis, your IG.
Yeah, I would say that this game on both sides feels a little bit less deliberate. Like, they're both just kind of trying to stop whatever the enemy team wants to do, but maybe not executing their own plan as much. Dragon Knight getting gone on here is pretty tanky, won't be able to get the blink off, but XXS is here to break up the fight. Can they save the Dragon Knight? They won't be able to. Here comes the Mortimer's Kisses. They're locking down the Templar Assassin, but he's still pretty tanky. Fade's coming over. He's actually got his Mass Serpent Wards. Underlord's holding the high ground, and they once again deal with the Phoenix Supernova extremely easily. Baboka getting chased down, will get glimpsed back into the fight, and Erica finishes him off, but that is the last of the Visage's mana. So it does end up being just a 2-for-1. SC thinking about some kind of move there, but thinks better of running through the Firestorm.
Yeah. To go off your point, yeah, it feels very reactionary as opposed to being proactive and forcing the enemy team to, to make a choice and play to your game. It feels like you're just playing preventative Dota, which in my mind it's never the sort of thing you want to do unless you pick a specific draft around it, like RNG did in that game 2 against IG with the Naga Siren.
Yeah, I understand why that 5-on-5 fight just happened at mid, but I feel like a lot of these trades have not necessarily been super productive for either team. Fade is pressuring at bottom. We do have a jump in at top. Disruptor well out of position. Just trying to get a little bit of warding and de-warding done, but in the end Aster will protect their Observer. Baboka even choosing to deny it out in the end and just put down a new one. And at the same time, that bottom tier 1 tower does get taken out. Mid lane, YDS getting gone on, SCCC getting caught inside of the pit, and now XXS looking for further lockdown onto the TA, who does just blink away. They're going to try and focus onto the Underlord instead. I don't think they have the burst damage, or do they? One more hit from SCCC, the maxed out Geminate attack plus the Desolator, actually tearing through the Underlord. And Aster now able to chase for a little bit more, perhaps.
He had the swarm on him as well. Maybe at the very end, I know the Phoenix was being chased down by one of the little bugs on top of him and only survived right at the very end with the Urn of Shadows ticks up as well. Well, Roshan, it just feels like Aster are waiting for that one moment where they're able to take a fight in a bit more of an aggressive position, and then as soon as that happens, they can just immediately go into Roshan.
Yeah, they are running down towards bottom here. Once again, Afu, okay, breaks the smoke. Chan just immediately jumps onto him. This was the combo that they were hoping to deploy onto the TA. They won't quite get it this time around. Baboka gonna find himself a nice little prize. Picks up the Grove Bow. Might even just give that to the Dragon Knight. Wouldn't be too bad. Weaver, what's up? SCCC looks like he kind of got caught out at mid, but got the time lapse off and was able to just Shikuchi away.
Too bad on him. I honestly don't mind the Grove Bow on the Snapfire herself, especially against a Phoenix, right? You just want to be able to deal with that egg from a safe range.
Well, even with that pickoff, that actually turned out to be a pretty decent trade for Keen as they come in here, mop up that mid tier 1, so that's all of the tier 1 towers taken. It was kind of an inevitability. SCCC is just going for a BKB. They did pick up some more physical damage towards the end of the draft on the side of Keen, but still this BKB going to represent a lot of freedom for SCCC to just run in and hunt the backlines, kill the Phoenix, kill the Disruptor, without them really being able to do anything about it. Though Keen are the ones on the offensive now, taking the front foot, moving forward. This is a bit of a blind hill to be moving up, so Afu thinking about planting down a ward. They do catch a glimpse of Snapfire over towards mid, but XXS is going to be the one gone on. He just walks out of the Static Storm kinetic field. And now it's Aster's turn to chase. Blink Dagger coming off cooldown in 1 second. Who have they found? It will be the Phoenix dive already on cooldown. Can he maybe Sunray up onto the high ground? He does do so, but fades there with the Hex. Already has his Aether Lens picked up. TA just trying to cut the wave quickly and then get the TP out, but Aster, that's enough for them to decide to head into the pit. They do have the Vlads for sustain, and the Mass Serpent Wards, plus all the minus armor, should be pretty quick.
I feel like Keen know exactly what's happening. They know they need to move fast. They've got this Phoenix back up online in about 10 seconds, so if anything's going to happen, it needs to happen right now.
Yep, they're coming in. Underlord, there's the pit. Doesn't have the Firestorm for a couple of seconds, so they don't have the damage. Afu keeping them contained with the kinetic field, but that's right where Aster want to be. They just want this Aegis. Now the Firestorm finally coming through. They are going to pick up the Aegis on the Pangolier. So XXS, he is insanely tanky, and now he has a second life. I thought they would have maybe put that on the Weaver, but I guess he's almost got BKB, so maybe doesn't need it.
Just a little bit of luxury, I think, and maybe panicked knowing that Keen have a good amount of team fight, especially in these small areas. You know, the Firestorm, Disruptor Royalty, Phoenix Egg, and just wanting to make sure it wasn't snatched out of their hands.
Yeah, there could have been a dive through, there could have been a TA blinking in. Would have been pretty treacherous. Actually, I guess Phoenix was maybe still just respawning, but
yeah, another 3 to 5 seconds he could have been there, but yeah, just panicking a little bit, not wanting to give away this slight lead that they've got at the moment.
And Maboka's actually got pretty decent farm. Full 4 staff on Snapfire. Compare that to the Disruptor, he's got nada. Afu, just his spells and some Tranquil Boots to his name. And how's this Halberd coming on the Dragon Knight? This item is so backbreaking for TA. Like, TA is actually just unable to play against a Heaven's Halberd. She is going for a BKB, but it's going to take a little bit. And this DK is just going to be up in her face every single fight.
And you got to be on point with knowing when to use it as well, just because of that disarm interaction with the BKB.
And and XXS is also going for a Halberd. Plus they've got the full Crimson Guard now. Oh my god.
Plus the lucky shot with XXS.
Yeah. Oh boy. It really just does not look like a great TA game at all. I mean, he's doing okay, 3-0 and 2, but it just, if you're relying on the TA to be the big force in your mid to late game, I think Aster's lineup really has her number. We got some tower trading going on. Underlord could always go for the Dark Rift out. XXS is coming up. He's gonna just go straight into the middle of this fight. Underlord, does he actually have the tools to escape here? On the backlines, Fade is locking them down. He's got the Visage completely trapped inside of these Mass Serpent Wards. Underlord gonna try for the evac.
TA's going down.
They will get it, but TA getting chased on the other side of the fight will be brought down by the Fire Snap Cookie. And just ends up being a 1-for-1, but a great 1-for-1 for Aster.
Yeah, could have been even better. The bugs didn't actually connect onto the Underlord there, so wasn't getting the constant ticks of the minus armor, not the quickest swings to be able to deal with them, and he just had to book it out of there.
They're walking out onto the map, but this is a pretty dangerous position for Keen to be in. Dragon Knight has some pretty fast catch. He can go blinking past this tower shortly. Phoenix is in a good position, but unfortunately no Spirit Vessel charges, and not going to land on those couple of Fire Spirits. Aster still wanting to muscle down the tower if they can. Nice pit, gonna catch on 3. That ensures the spirits onto XXS and SCCC, but even with that, they still just focus everything down. Fade TPing to this bottom outpost. So I would imagine that... so Radiant didn't get any experience off of the 20-minute outposts. And
don't believe so, no.
Things just kind of sliding away from them. as the minutes go past.
And good presence of mind by Aster as well, realizing that the glyph was used previously on the tier 2 in bot lane, so even if you've only got a TA dead for, what, 30 seconds, they were relatively free to take that push into the mid lane.
Ooh, XXS playing around with them, but I mean, he's still got the Aegis for another minute, so he can really go and stand wherever he wants and dive in back behind the enemy tower. Visage in danger. He's also being hexed up. Can they get him out of here? Phoenix doesn't want to use the supernova defensively. Knows that it would just get cleaned up, so in the end just dives away. And XXS snipes both of the birds inside of the trees. So Erica will be forced to resummon once he respawns. Tier 2 dead, and they're going in looking for a little bit more. Mass Serpent Wards up onto the high ground, locked down onto this Underlord. He is getting mowed down. Phoenix, this is the most optimistic supernova I have seen in a while. And that just gets taken out easily. Buyback from the Underlord to try and hold this, but I don't think they're going to send Aster anywhere. And Keen, I mean, not even all here. TA is still waiting on a teleport scroll to be able to come back and defend. Just trying to grab this BKB quickly, and meanwhile there's a dive underneath the tier 4 towers. The Disruptor dies. He buys back now. They've almost got their Phoenix back up. TA is still just taking the bottom tower. The Aegis has been reclaimed, and they will get a glimpse back. Oh, I say that, but great blink from Dragon Knight to get out of there. And oh, TA cannot afford to get caught. Hasn't TP'd yet though. Oh, Fade, he's looking. Okay, can't quite get it with the fog.
Just TPing into complete vision might have been a little bit of a mistake there. But still, they take a commanding lead now. 16k net worth. Was it sitting at 98% win probability? And
yeah,
poor Visage in the middle of these team fights. He doesn't have the greatest base armor for himself. It's getting negated down really fast by this Weaver, and he had a full stick as well as mechanism not used in the previous encounter.
It's tough. They have, I would say that we talked about the Disruptor, right? But the Visage is kind of the same way. He's a front foot hero. If you're getting gone on and the enemy team is just charging at you, he is really not that effective. But
yeah,
when you're getting the chases and you're pushing buildings and sieging, that's a totally different story. Oh, and well, you know, Ice Frog's got plans for this game as the Orb of Destruction gets picked up. So SCCC is going to be doing an insane amount of damage. Underlord is standing here on this high ground like he owns the place, but I don't think that is quite the case. As we watch this tier 3 tower start getting chunked away at. Serpent Ward's also deployed. Underlord low on mana, does have some stick charges to maybe help out a little bit. XXS, just a swashbuckle in place as the ranged Rax has already fallen. DK still sieging. XXS, a little bit of chain stun, not using the second familiar there. As Aster will just be able to back up, reset, Fade, jumping forward, looking for the Hex, won't quite find it. And Aster still sieging. They wait out the Firestorm, now they come back up onto the high ground. Nice Pit is going to catch them. Glyph at the last moment as the TA is taking the, well, trying to take the tier 3 top side. But still needs to TP back, and Fade is actually going to go looking for him. You can't show on this wave, TA. Fade's got him. And now he's got a shackle. And the TPs are coming. Baboko 4-staff forward stun. If you work through the refraction, do they have any more interrupts though? They do not, and the TP out is going to be successful. Okay, well he bought some space actually. That ranged Drax is still alive, so I guess that worked out in the end.
I mean, small miracles, really.
Yeah.
It's looking rough for them regardless. It's just the thing with the Visage, right? Like, Visage Disruptor, they had a really good start to the game getting the first blood. Probably due to a bit of an overextension by Fade. But it's just kind of the thing like, oh, you know, just win your lanes, XD. You know, it's easy. You know?
Oh, man.
But if everything perfect doesn't work out for you, then caught him out.
Okay, decent damage on the Pangolier, but he's still pretty tanky. BKB forced out early. They have to be worried about this Heaven's Halberd. XXS is still living though, and they get him out of there. Just way too tanky with all of this armor plus the Heaven's Halberd. And now they can go on the offensive. He swashbuckles to gain a little bit of HP. SC's on the prowl, as is the Dragon Knight. YDS gonna go for the TP out. He will make it. But SC trying to cut off these retreat routes, as he's also grabbing a little bit of farm.
and that forced out another BK, well, the first BKB usage from the TA as well. So realizing the threat that Heaven's Halberd has, you could see XSS was trying to use it onto him, but you know, even with that not being able to be used and being in the Static Storm, not able to take him down, I don't know about
Fade's
that.
got this catch, I think. Yeah, Hex. It's going to be a dead
Radiant's
Phoenix.
bottom barracks are under attack.
Send the DK forward. Let him secure the kill. TA still ratting bottom. Gonna probably get this tier 2 tower. Roshan's respawning very soon. Aegis and Cheese ready to be claimed there, and I think with that, Aster should just be able to close it out. Fade's once again hunting for the TA. Has found some spider legs, pretty nice. Roshan's just getting chunked. And looks like this time around, Aegis is going to be going to SC. We got the Cheese on the Dragon Knight, and as we saw in that last fight, XXS is more than tanky enough. TA, hello? Just walking up to the wave? That is going to be the end of you, my friend. SC comes in. I don't even think he got any crits there. Just easy damage.
Yeah, it's a minute on the sidelines. Roche was taken, so you know they're not doing it anymore, and you choose to stay in the lane. It just, I don't know, he's trying to get everything that he can, try and push the limits, but there's an extent to which you can do that.
Yeah, well, and an extent you can do it against a hero like Shadow Shaman, right? You're not going to blink away faster than Fade can blink Hex you. It's
Radiant's
just
bottom
not going to
barracks
happen.
are under attack.
Yeah,
But
with an Aether Lens.
yeah.
Radiant's bottom barracks has
So
fallen.
Aster interacts down. Underlord, let's see how tanky you are. SC gonna make quick work of him. Pops the BKB, still surviving for a little bit longer. Does get the halberd out, but XXS just completely rolling through this entire fight. Couple more hits from SC to finish that kill. Visage getting melted by the two supports. Shackle combining up with the Mortimer's Kisses from beyond the grave. He will call the GG as Aster now begin a little bit of a fountain dive, and they will convincingly take this game.
Yeah, I mean, from the very beginning, we were uneasy about the draft coming through from Keen, and it just felt like Aster, some great individual plays, some sacrificial plays as well, but nothing all too flashy, if I'm being completely honest. From any of these heroes, it was just clean, or at least cleaner than what Keen was able to put.
Yeah, I think they just had decent farm, decent lanes, probably slightly better teamfight execution as well. And I will still stand by some of those criticisms of, you know, there were some nice moves from Aster in the early game, but I think there were also a couple of things where they were just doing whatever. I didn't really feel 100% like they were really all executing together. There were a couple of nice little moments, like when Fade went and took the bottom tier 1 tower while there were fights happening elsewhere and whatnot, but
yeah, the moves on their own were fine.
Yeah.
For, like, what that player thinks is the important thing to do, but if everyone on your team's not on the same page, then it's all for naught, really.
Yeah. And good win. Nice to see Aster kind of looking on form, but also as someone who is an Aster fan, this game does not fill me with a ton of like, okay, Aster's back. They've got it. They figured it out. It really just seemed like they are a team, and I still really don't think that Keen Gaming is looking that way. But more practice is what they need, and they've got plenty more practice in this league. We've still got the rest of this best of 3 to play. So, Danog, unless you've got any other thoughts?
Not for this one. Might save it for the next game, but
Cool.
yeah, you'd hope that they can take this one out if you're an Aster fan 2-0, because Keen not looking too hot right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, we are going to head to a short break, guys. Join us back here in a couple of minutes for game number 2.